And in 2016, the earth shifted beneath our feet. The rebellion started.
No, I really feel like someone else was in my car. I feel like someone else was in my car. Okay? That just happened. Are you kidding me? No, everything's different. This is a complete shift for me, and I'm still going through it. Music sounds different. I've listened to that forever. That's totally not what it used to sound like. I don't mind it. I mean, I feel like I'm listening to another version of the song. Whatever. I guess I am listening to another version of the song. But everything's different. I mean, even see, it's hazy around here, and I'm tired. I woke up early to get out. I'm just tired and want to go to bed. All right, here we go. Yeah, I bought a razor to trim up my beard, and I made a few mistakes. So I'd take it off. So, here's why I think the giant story that, there were giants here before us. I'm going to get into some thoughts on that. And I'm thinking about it now, and I'm going, hey, wait a minute. Let me walk around with a crystal. It's probably a distraction because it's a big deal. And, I mean, it would be a big deal if it came out that, all of a sudden there's proof that giants lived here before us. And then that would cause separation because, of course, half the people wouldn't believe it, no matter what, even with the proof. And, they'd get into that, investigate that. And I'm watching the stuff. I'm fascinated by it. I think it's neat. But to me, it's still a distraction, just like Flat Earth. Flat Earth kind of died down, at least from my perspective. I mean, I don't really go after it or anything. So, because to me, Flat Earth and the Mandela Effect came out about the same time. At least they did for me. They came out in the beginning of 2015 for me. I'm sure both were out before then. But for me, in the timeline I resided in, that's when that information started to hit me. And right in the beginning, I thought, wow, okay. I mean, I wasn't thinking these exact thoughts, but hey, the molecular structure of physical reality is changing. Who cares what we live on? I think the whole flat earth thing was to distract people from discovering that they can create their own reality, bottom line. I think it's coming out with this giant stuff too. I didn't find the flat earth material bad. It helped me realize we don't live on a spinning ball flying through infinite amount of space. That's my beliefs now. I believed other things before. I may believe something else later. I don't know if it's flat. I don't care. It's about my perspective. But to believe that there were giants living on the planet before us, I find fascinating and interesting. But I can still shift myself into a timeline where I can worry about my now experience instead of worrying about what happened back then. And if that really did happen back then, hey, when I figure out how to shift my consciousness through different timelines back and forth, I can go back in time and check out the giants. Or, check out when they started the flat earth stuff or whatever. I just think it's fascinating. I think it's interesting, but I think when you get down to it, there's not much that's going to top the molecular structure of physical reality changing. When I don't actually think that's what's happening. I think our consciousness shifts through another timeline, and it looks as though things have changed, but actually they've been that way the whole time in that timeline. And if you can manipulate that or use it, who cares if giants lived in the past? Who cares if you live on a flat plane? I think the idea would be to, and I've taken some of this from some other people. The young lady I spoke about before, and why I can't remember. Luna. What you want to do is, and I'm paraphrasing, but what you want to do is keep your vibration high, especially now during the new moon, this partial eclipse. Picture how you want to live in that higher vibration, because that's what's coming. If we can manipulate and shift, we want to shift into a higher vibrational timeline where we understand things better and we can manipulate or control or use. The manipulate and control, hey, they're words. I'll say use. You want to learn how to use these things? Well, this is the way to do it right here. Get yourself in a very high vibration. The 11th is the eclipse. This is a great time. I mean, this is a fantastic time. But I got a bunch of stuff that I'm putting out here now, and there's info in it. You know how I go with the skipping all over the place. Keep a high vibe. All right, the bottom line for me on the mud fossils is it's very similar to flat Earth. The information may be good. The information may be closer to the truth than what actually is, but it's still a distraction from the Mandela effect. That's how I look at it.
An old road, right? Off there and continues on. So I've been thinking about these mud fossils. I caught similar stories on Jade Dreamer's channel and Martin Leakey. A couple other people are talking about them out there. There's these, mountains that when you back up and take a good look at them, they look like giants laying on their sides or whatnot. They're fossilized bodies. Now, when I first think about this, I look into this and I think, okay, distractions, first thing I'm always looking for. And I thought, well, maybe this is just another lifting of the veil. Because that's what it seems like to me. It seems like this is just something else that we're noticing, and then what I'm thinking is, these mountains, I wasn't buying into that whole no trees on flat Earth thing. I wasn't. To me, it was a distraction. There could have been something to it. I do think that a lot of the mesas could be tree stumps. It sure looked like it, or fossilized tree stumps. But if I stay along that, if I stay with that topic, I come across these formations in these mountains here, and I'm telling you, they don't look natural to me now. Before they were always natural, and it was the water that made it look like that, and now when I get into these canyons over here, these things are either walls, a bridge, a giant bridge. I'm looking at a giant bridge that collapsed. That's what it looks like to me, and we're just living on top of the stuff. It makes perfect sense that this whole thing would have been covered in water. But I'm looking, and I think it's right around the corner I get here, probably right there. These things look like they were walls, buildings, or a bridge of some sort. And a bridge is the first thing that came to mind. And you see these cuts in the rocks right here. This is what I'm talking about. They just look like a building fell on its side. Now, I said bridges because you go to the other side and they're over there too. And I'm thinking, possibly. But you look at these things, they could be walls that fell down. I mean, these things don't look natural now that I'm taking a good look at it. They're lines. They're straight lines. They're bricks that are molded together. I mean, that's what they look like to me. You know, this could have been a giant's home. Who knows? I'm just speculating. But these things do not look natural to me anymore. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they still are. I don't know. But especially,
And I figure this video is already going to be extensive. You know how they get, because I just keep filming little things. But I got some really interesting information on this one. And this is like another intro. I got like 6 intros for this one. Only because I've done some strange things in the last couple of days. Things I wouldn't normally do. I was just told I canceled a bread order. I don't understand any reason why I would cancel a bread order. I have nothing to do with the kitchen. I don't want to be in the kitchen. I do remember talking to the guy, and I kind of vaguely think it was his suggestion that we probably wouldn't need it. So I think I kind of went with that. That would have been Monday night. I mean, you know, I was just getting sick into Tuesday. You'll see.
brick, complete brick. They're brick. It's brick. I mean, it's not brick like we use brick, but a lot of it still looks like brick put together, and then it fell over after time. I know some rocks and minerals do form in cubes. I get that. But, I don't know. There was one specific formation over here that really made me think that. And I wonder if I'll come across it. Could be these here, because it just looks to me like it's a building and it fell. Or a wall. Or a bridge. That's a formation to just a thought, but these things with the mud fire, I'm just starting to speculate here that there were giants here, and for whatever reason they're not, or maybe they're somewhere else. Again, don't want to get into that. I was just joking around saying all the famous people that died at a young age are on the other side of the South Pole having dinner with the giants or entertaining the giants. I was kind of tongue-in-cheek that, but now I'm thinking if these were buildings or something that a giant lived in and this all fell down, is that what's forming the mountains? Is that what gives us our mountains, and we're just living on top of everything, including their bodies, their fossilized bodies? I mean, hey, maybe they weren't carbon-based. I guess they'd have to be. I'm not sure. I'm thinking maybe they were made of something else. Maybe they were made of iron, or maybe they lived. Their system was iron, because it could be walls. These things that came down after a time. But, I just looked at the videos, these mud fossils, and in an entertaining fashion, because I did initially just figure it's another distraction. But you know what? There could be something to this. It could be a distraction, but there could be something to it. I'm just going to kind of let it go. It's fascinating, but this could be where our history really is, underneath all these mountains. The mountains could have been some giant's home that came down, and we're just building on top of it. So you're saying alcohol is not?
No, alcohol is not bad for you.
It does not
Doesn't
lower.
mean you should get shit-faced drunk.
But it doesn't lower your immune system at all.
It does not lower your immune system.
Because I've always known that alcohol would
Are you
lower.
recording me or something?
No, I just want to put light on you so I can see you.
Stop.
Because look, up here, if the water made those up there with the lines, and that's where the water, why didn't it do it down here too? I guess because this is where the wall fell. The wall came down. beautiful nonetheless. I mean, I mean, for a tiny little human being, it's kind of beautiful.
Has done.
Oh, I can't do
I
Trump
don't
videos.
follow
I can't.
American news.
There you go.
I don't know what part of that you. I do not listen to American bullshit propaganda news. It's not
Baseball's
real.
good. Baseball's good though.
I watch baseball. They can't fuck that up too much.
Too much, honey. Too much. On the fence. Performance. Photo Helix. Rachel. Keep going, man. Sean Indica. Me. Nobleness D. None of us agree on what it is because we're all smart enough to know we don't know what it is. Money bags. Let me throw him in there. He's doing a live thing in a couple hours. You know what? It's so dead in here and I'm sick. I'm thinking I'm just going to tell everybody. Last call, get out. I'll go catch his show. He has very similar beliefs and ideas that I have. I've always resonated with Money Bags. Even though when I first saw his name, it was Money Bags with 2 G's. I'm telling you. And the only reason I noticed it is because I have a trigger with 2 G's. My first band was Jet Lag with 2 G's. And it was my idea to put 2 G's on it. 2G. So when his name went to 1G, I noticed it right away. And everybody else is saying, no, it's always been 1G. And that just makes me laugh because it's just another reality. That's the word he uses, reality. I say it's just another timeline / dimension / density / reality. So whatever. All right, let me go check the bar, see if anybody wants a drink.
So,
Uh-oh, I'm going to get copyright
at the
strike.
hospital, I saw a woman that was real as you and I standing right here, walking down the hallway. But she was not a real person. She was a ghost. And I did not realize that until the door did not open in which the room she entered.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So this song comes on, and I realize it's a remake of a Bruce Springsteen song. And it just had me thinking, and I've been kicking this around before. I wasn't sure how I was going to word it. But what if the reason there are nothing but remakes, movies, songs, I mean, everywhere you turn, that's all we do. Rarely there's something new. What if it's just people that are shifting and you're going back in time? You're going back in time. You do the song, and that makes it original. And then when we get here, these people that are actually doing the song, it becomes a remake. That makes sense? I mean, they wouldn't actually be remakes. Alright, I was just talking to Dan. Not that Dan, different Danny. Daniel. This guy over here. Not the Daniel we know and love and Scarab Performance. Just talking to Dan, and he's telling me, which, look, this is news to me because guess what? I don't watch the news, and, you know, it's painful enough to just listen to people. I'm going to get hit for this. That, you know, talk about current events and baloney, because, you know, I just go and, like, listen to voices and say hi to people, and, you know, but current events, sorry, puking. But this did bring to my attention, by actually listening to somebody about news, the smoke around here is not Colorado fires. The smoke I'm getting is from California. And that's how bad those fires are out there. I'm just finding out about this now. I really honestly believe, I mean, I know there were fires around here, and, you know, and I know they knocked out the power twice, preemptive. I feel like crap. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't get sick ever. This is like the third time, maybe fourth. Everything's different. For sure, I'm going through something right now. I mean, I'm doing different things. I have different. This is so bizarre. I have different little idiosyncrasies. Like, I keep speaking Spanish to myself. What? I don't do that. It's not. You know, I'm like, and then I started typing Spanish words into a chat room. Clueless, man, clueless. This is not, I don't walk around going, I mean, I'm saying by myself, like, so I'm sitting there putting gas in the thing and it kept clicking off. And I went, hola. Because I couldn't get it to go on. Like, oh my God, my whole body is killing me right now. What is with me? Have you been doing any deeper thinking?
Yeah, just, oh, you know, it caught me off guard. I gotta have like a script for stuff like this. I like your Detroit, Michigan shirt.
Oh, it's a Mandela effect.
Hey, I'm from Michigan.
I remember an E here. Chevrolet. Can you guys see the things that are going on around you and around even our community, how things are changing? Look, I'm swearing there's some changes in people's demeanor, attitudes, personality, and that's not a bad thing. It's, you know, to me, I'm done. I'm like, I'm the only one here anyway. Y'all doing this for me. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, and I think there's a handful of yous out there that, all right, let me not go nuts on it. I bet there's people that know. I bet there's people that know what's going on. If this is quantum and infinite, and we're shifting all around timelines and stuff, I bet there's people that know what's going on. And just won't say anything, don't need to. They've lived it. They've already lived it. You know, so they're bouncing around, experiencing different timelines, maybe coming back. I don't know, man. Why not? But I think the next level's close. I don't know. I think we're already in it. Said that. I'm a little amazed. About these California fires. They're talking about the biggest ever, and I'm a little amazed at the smoke, the haze that you see is California up in the middle of the Rockies. Could have been walls. Red building. And if you haven't already, check out, yeah, buddy, you did, didn't you? Yeah, check out Luna's latest video. A lot of good things for me in it. And Prince. My car is driving like I have brand new tires on it. That's just, I don't know. It's a strange morning. I feel like I'm in somebody else's car, or I feel like somebody was in my car. There's a small bit with an Enya song playing, and I mentioned that it's slower, the inflection. Sorry about the sound. Everything's different about the song. I mean, everything's different about the song. The song's exactly the same. It's just another take. It's slower. And what I wanted to say here is, it's the same disc that I've always listened to. It used to be bada, bada. Now it's da-da, da-da. The whole album is slower. The inflections are different. It's That's Nickel Creek. They all went out and did solo stuff. And some of it, anyway, Chris Tilly's, some of the titles changed for me on one of his solo albums. Fiona Apple's inflections changed and then went back. It's all little things, I'm noticing. Eddie Van Halen's leads changing. And most of the music to me just sounds like they just took a different take. That's all it really sounds like. Is this thing running? It is running. So, alcohol will or will not lower your immune system?
It will lower your immune system in excess.
Okay. In excess?
Yeah.
All right. Good enough.
Exactly.
So alcohol will or will not lower your immune system?
It will not.
Okay. And they're both nurses. I'm just saying they're both nurses. They're both nurses from different timelines. I'm waiting for Moneybags to come on, and I'm sick, and I'm closing the bar early. There ain't nobody in here. I already kicked these two out. You're out. Another wall or bridge here. Pretty amazing if that's natural. Like I said, I know some things form in cubes, but the kind of same experience you had, or that happened to me, or whatever, every once in a while. But the Mandela effect, that went commercial.
You taking my picture?
No, I'm filming everything. Did you want to get on? Let me ask you. I didn't ask you any questions, so I might as well now. What color is a yield sign?
Ask me a question.
What color is a yield sign?
Yellow?
How many people were in the car when JFK was assassinated?
4.
What company makes stovetop stuffing?
Betty Crocker.
Let's see, we got, God, there's thousands of them. You'd think I'd just have them rolling off the tip of my tongue.
That's okay.
Is that good? Okay, the yield sign's always been an upside down red triangle.
Red? Oh, okay.
Okay, what do you mean okay?
I thought it was yellow.
Well, everybody thinks it's yellow. Your consciousness shifted into another timeline.
Well, that's
what the
fine.
book's
And
about.
now it's red.
Now it's right. That's
That's
fine.
fine with
You're
me.
like, fine, you got this. Like, I got this.
No, I'm fine with understanding what changed because I don't
cool.
understand things like the yield sign. So I know the Monopoly Man.
Okay.
He used to have a monocle.
Oh, so
now
you
he
do know
doesn't.
about this. All right.
I know about
Well, there's 6 people in the car now when JFK was assassinated. How's
6
that?
people. Wow.
How's that?
Really?
Yeah.
I thought there was 4.
Listening to I'm sitting here thinking, all songs are probably spells. I mean, all hers sound like it for sure. I say for sure a lot now. I've never said for sure. Well,
Desert?
have you looked in the sky lately? I'm telling you, once a month before the full moon, we're talking 3 days.
They didn't do this before the Afghanistan war.
What the hell?
They didn't do chemtrails before Afghanistan. Interesting.
Afghanistan. How old are you?
know if you can see these. To me, they could be old walls that came down and that were broken up. Or another idea that came into my head, a machine could have done that. With those lines the way they are, that could have been a machine cutting through there. You know, like they make tunnels and stuff. I don't know. Just speculating, just wondering. But they just don't look naturally formed to me anymore. I mean, I think that's my point. Make me think in that direction, I come up with some other stuff. You know, I'm sure some science guy will come along and say, we're somebody that studied, you know, water and erosion and all that. Be like, yeah, well, it forms like that because of this, that, and the other thing. Hey, that's fine. I'm not going to take your word for it. If I really want to find out, I guess I'll go study it myself. You know, I'd be interested to find out what other people found if they were studying this. And if it is that it's just used to be underwater and that's how it formed, then that's fine. But I'm looking at them a little differently, that's all. Looks like that could have been the side of a wall or
Then in 2016, the earth shifted beneath our feet. The rebellion started.
Oh yeah. If I was on public property, I should say, if public property, I could say.
you know, every time I have a conversation, why does it always end up in with politics? Why? And I have no music blaring. It'd be a great time to interview people and they want to talk politics. Check out the white sun. Hey, the sun's been brighter for me. What else has been going on? You know, I'm running into people like that dude. Okay, the dude I just got done talking to. I'm running into people that I already know need my book, or if they actually read it and took into context and turned it into their belief system. You know, whatever they believe. They say, "Oh wow, that guy had stars come out at him." Well, to me, that's angels or whatever. They could just take that information, what actually happened to me, turn it around into whatever religion or belief system they have, and it would help them. That's why I gave it. Hey, how you doing? You know, and it's funny because it's working because I don't care. And, you know, it's not the right way to put it. That's an English word. It's probably a spell. I don't have any attachment to it. I have no attachment to what happens to this guy after I gave him my book, hoping to help him, hoping to wake people up, hoping to, you know, shocking. Hello. Why are you laughing at me, man? I'm talking to myself. I do a blog on YouTube. Check it out. Road, right? Breaks off there and continues on. Does alcohol lower your immune system?
No.
Wow. That is one nurse says no. One Patty, who drinks, says no.
There's a reason why all home bums in any city never get sick and sit there dirty as all hell and sit in the middle of the winter because they're drinking booze. It kills off most of the germs that make us sick.
Yeah, but they're drinking 3 bottles of wine, not
No,
a beer.
No, they're drinking like, not a beer, but like a bottle of.
Like if you have a glass of wine,
back pocket.
a glass of wine a night is fine. Yes.
Bums don't. Well, yeah, I mean it's good for you. It's good for your heart and it's good for your blood circulation.
And it does not lower your immune system. Because I'm sick right now, and everybody keeps telling me to do shots of whiskey, and I'm pretty whacked out on whiskey.
Anytime I
So
was sick growing through.
that's why I closed early. It's early. You see that? It's early.
Lemon and honey.
Yep.
Hot water.
Honey.
And that actually works. It's not like
Absolutely,
an
every
old
time.
wives' tale and all
Every
that
time.
stuff.
No, it's not an old wives' tale. It's because I
So
told
I've been
you.
drinking tea and honey, not alcohol, but tea and honey all night,
But
all
I tell
day.
you, the
Put some
pharmaceutical
whiskey or
company
brandy in
can't
it.
stick their fingers in it, therefore it's bad.
There's alcohol and.
Oh, I love that. Could you get that again?
The pharmaceutical companies can't stick their fingers in the alcohol business, therefore it's bad.
Correct.
Awesome. So alcohol does not lower the immune
No,
system.
actually, the reason Doc Holliday stayed alive for so long after getting consumption or tuberculosis was because of his partying lifestyle. Most people who got consumption, then there was a death warrant within a few months. He stayed alive for years.
Wow, good call, good info. I want you to start telling people that on the tour.
I do.
Keep wanting to put the camera down and more possible strange formations that always seem natural to me, but now they don't. Now I'm just keeping an open mind. I don't know. All right. The bottom line for me on the mud fossils is it's very similar to flat Earth. The information may be good. The information may be closer to the truth than what actually is, but it's still a distraction from the Mandela effect. That's how I look at it. It may be real, but it's still a distraction from what is real.